Morning, everyone. Welcome to the Daily Faith Builder. Let's remember to really encourage each other, especially during these times. And also remember, during these times, less media and less news, more of the Word and more prayer time. That'll be good for all of us, for sure. But this morning, I want to just encourage us all in Psalm 23. This week, I'm just in kind of a 5-week, every day, just bringing something from the Psalms. Yesterday, we were in Psalm 46. I want us to drill in this morning and get some real encouragement from Psalm 23, the famous psalm, the Lord is my shepherd. So let me read this for us this morning. Psalm 23, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me in paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever. I want us to focus this morning primarily on the first verse and the sixth verse. The first one sets the tone for the entire passage. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. And the reality is until we deal with that verse, the rest of it remains really just some good poetry and not life-changing truth. Until we really drill in and we understand when we read this, who is our Lord? Do we know Jesus, the Good Shepherd, as our Lord? If we don't in a personal, saving way, then again, this is just good poetry. It's just maybe some helpful stuff for our emotions, but not life-changing truth for our life. The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. It's pretty powerful to think about during this time, especially just to really dwell and meditate on that Jesus, he's the Good Shepherd. That's John chapter 10. And he cares for his sheep. He lays down his life for his sheep, for us. In times of uncertainty, in times of fear, it's critical that we just take some time to really meditate and be still with the Lord and really let that truth sink in, that he is our good shepherd. We're his sheep and he's going to care for us. And all the rest of these promises in the middle of this psalm are just pictures of a faithful good shepherd, of his love and care for the sheep. And how much more so, right? Our Lord. The second part of this, I shall not want. Wow, what a interesting thing, powerful thing again to just meditate on. I shall not want. The reality is with this little statement is it really fleshes out inside us as we dwell on this, our identity. Either we're resting in our identity as a king's kid, right, a child of God, or our identity is resting in the orphan spirit. In other words, not secure in our relationship with God, realizing we're always having to fight and scrape and scrap for things in life, worried that we'll have enough. The king's kids never worry about not having enough. They're secure in that, for their father is the king. And that's what this psalm is to lead us to, as the Lord is my shepherd. If the king is our father, is that we shall have no want. And we'll grow in that identity as being a king kid. So I think we should just dwell on that, especially during this time. You're a king's kid. And all through the scriptures is our God has incredible promises for us of a mighty inheritance. We shall not want. We can rest in his arms. He'll care for us. But this psalm's bookend with that verse. And then the last verse, verse 6, says, surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever. What a beautiful truth to lay hold of, especially in times of unrest. But I want to point out one word here. It says, surely goodness and mercy. The Hebrew word for mercy here is this word chesed. And it's one of the most important words in all of the Old Testament. It means God's steadfast love. And it is fleshed out into the New Testament in the Father sending forth his Son, his steadfast love to woo us and to save us. And that just is a reminder for us as we meditate on this. Surely goodness and steadfast love are God's mighty love for us. It shall follow me all the days of my life. and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever. And you might say, boy, there's just some tough things going on in life. I don't see goodness following me. But this is where I point us to Romans 8:28 and the sovereignty and the mightiness of our God, that he has us in his hands. And Romans 8:28 says that for those who love God, those who've been called according to him, he works everything out for good. For good is that our Lord has goodness and mercy. It will follow us all the days of our lives. I hope this encourages you during this Faith Builder time. God bless.